In recent years, I've noticed that football fans have valued goalkeepers very highly. However, I don't think these evaluations are reasonable at all. On TikTok, I posted a video where I quickly went over some of my unpopular opinions. I ended that video by basically saying that goalkeepers are nowhere near as important as outfield players, and let's just say I've never received more hate in my life than on that video. My comment section was flooded with tons of comments, and not a single one changed my mind. And a lot of the comments were basically saying that goalkeepers were the most important players. So today in this video, I will explain why I don't value goalkeepers as highly as most people. But before we get into it, please head over to my TikTok and drop a follow if you want to see more content from me. I've been posting a lot on there. So I know this goalkeeper opinion is very unpopular, but I would love if you watched the entire video and heard me out before screaming at me in the comments. The first reason I don't value goalkeepers as highly is purely based on logic. Goalkeepers can't win you a football match. The most important thing in football is winning. Now, some of you might say, well, if a keeper makes a last minute save and the team wins the game, doesn't that mean the keeper won the game for them? No, it doesn't. Keepers can't win you games, they can help you not lose them. There's a difference. Every player on the team has a specific position and they have specific jobs. If all of the outfield players fail completely at their jobs and a goalkeeper plays incredibly well, drops a 10 out of 10 performance, what is the best possible result that team can get out of the game? The answer is 0-0. The best possible result is a draw. Goalkeepers don't have the capability to win you a game. And again, wins are the most important thing in football. A goalkeeper can concede every shot they face, but if the attack is good enough, then they can still win the game without the goalkeeper playing well. Yes, there are some very, very rare exceptions. This will be a situation where a goalkeeper scores the winning goal. However, these are exceptions, and exceptions don't make the rule. Goalkeepers are usually not meant to score goals. People in my comment section gave me a penalty shootout as an example where a goalkeeper can win you a game, and they tried to use it as like a gotcha moment. However, they failed. A goalkeeper can't win you a penalty shootout without the outfield players scoring their penalties. The outfield players have to score their penalties. A goalkeeper making a few saves in a shootout means nothing unless the outfield players score. Because again, goalkeepers can't win you a game and they can't win you a penalty shootout because the shootout is decided on scoring pens and then saving them. An exception I would make here is if the goalkeeper scores the winning penalty. This is an exception because it's highly unlikely and it's generally not what happens. And most games don't go into penalty shootouts anyway. There was one comment that brought up Emi Martinez's performance in the World Cup final against France as an example of a goalkeeper winning their team a game. Emi Martinez did not win the game for Argentina because his saves mean absolutely nothing without his outfield players scoring. With that last minute save against Kolo Muani, he didn't win them the game. He quite literally helped them not lose. Then, in the penalty shootout, he made a big save or two. But again, his teammates had to score the pens in order for them to win. Another comment brought up Memo Ochoa's performance against Brazil in the 2014 World Cup as a way to debunk my argument. However, this guy failed to realize that this actually supported my argument. Mexico's outfield players failed to do their job, and Memo Ochoa had one of the best goalkeeper performances of all time. And guess what the result was? It was 0-0. This supported my argument perfectly. The goalkeeper played incredibly well, and the result was 0-0 because a goalkeeper can't win you a game no matter how well they play. Another reason I don't think goalkeepers should be valued as highly is because they play a completely different sport to outfield players. In my eyes, they are in a category of their own. Their entire game is so specialized, unlike any other outfield player. Outfield players have to be much more versatile in terms of what they bring to their team. A goalkeeper's entire performance and all of their actions are dictated by how the rest of the team plays. If the back line is shaky, then the goalkeeper will have to perform their primary duties, but there is a possibility where they won't have to do much at all that game. I just struggle to see how a player who isn't really constantly involved in the game can be the most important player. They are basically dependent on their defense. The team's defensive quality determine whether or not the goalkeeper will be involved a lot in the game. Yes, I agree that when a shot is taken on goal, then the goalkeeper becomes the most important player. But that shouldn't be confused with them being the most important player in a game overall. Also, they have very little impact on the attack. The attacking aspect of the game is the most important aspect of the game. The attack is where you generally score goals and win games. No matter how many goals you concede, you can still win the game if you create enough goals. Goalkeepers are not involved in the attack basically at all. Yes, the modern game has seen a lot more goalkeepers get involved in build-up and overall ball playing, but that doesn't mean they are important to the attack. So, if they aren't important to the most important aspect of football, they just can't be the most important player. It logically doesn't make sense. The final reason I don't value goalkeepers as highly is because they have never been the most important players in football. It's that simple. This fan club that has emerged for goalkeepers is so strange to me. I remember one time I saw someone say that the top three players of the past generation were Messi, Ronaldo, and Manuel Neuer. Neuer was obviously fantastic, but how can you put him in the same conversation as Messi and Ronaldo? It doesn't make any sense. I've also seen people argue that Neuer should have been in the conversation to win the Ballon d'Or in 2014. There is never an argument that can convince me to act like these claims are reasonable. The Ballon d'Or should be for the best player in the world that year. A goalkeeper is never the best player in the world. They should never be winning an award like this because the value they bring to their team is nowhere near the value that goal scorers or playmakers bring. Same thing with awards like Player of the Season or Player of the Tournament. A goalkeeper has never been one of these. Yes, they've won the award, but it doesn't mean they should have won the award. A goalkeeper is never better than every single outfield player in the tournament or league. That's just ridiculous. When you think about the best teams of all time, or even the best teams currently, how many of their best players are goalkeepers? The answer is none of them. If goalkeepers are the most important players, or just as important as other players, then why aren't they ever considered to be the best players on a team? You might answer by saying, well, it's because there is such an emphasis placed on goals. That is the exact point. There is an emphasis placed on goals and players who contribute in the attack because that's the most important thing in football. If goalkeepers are the most important players, then answer these questions. Who was more important to Manchester City's success, Ederson or Kevin De Bruyne? Who was more important to prime Barcelona, Messi or Victor Valdez? Who was more important to Real Madrid's three-peat in the Champions League, Ronaldo or Keylor Navas? The answer to these questions are obvious, but the goalkeeper fan club will still believe that goalkeepers are the most important players to ever play the game. Now, obviously people will misrepresent the point of the video. It is important for a team to have a good goalkeeper. They do need to come up big at times, and if a team has a goalkeeper who can do their job well, it can really help a team. However, they simply aren't as important as other players who contribute more to the game. Generally in football, the most important part of the team is the spine of the team. The spine is your goalkeeper, your center backs, your midfielders, and your striker. Goalkeepers are included in this because they are important, but they are not as important as the other parts of the spine, especially the striker and the midfielders or playmaker. That's how football has always been, and it makes perfect sense when you look at what the game is all about. That will be the end of the video. Please put your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you're interested in having a space to talk about football, please join my Discord. The link will be in the description. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.